as promised, we said that on NL Recess, we will get you interesting and exciting people. And we have got you an extremely interesting and exciting person. So Siddharth, before I come to your film career, when I was reading up about you, you're a Delhi boy, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a Delhiite at heart. Once a Delhiite, always a Delhiite.
So what was your life like in Delhi? What were your interests? What did you grow up doing?
So I think Delhi will always be very close to my heart because I finished school and did college in Delhi. And I think that was probably the happiest I'd been until then in my life. Also the most self-aware. Also at the peak of my curiosity. And all of that happened in both Delhi and Delhi University at the same time. And I'm very grateful for that because I've always prided myself on being a mongrel. I use that word because I lived everywhere in this country, and wherever I've gone, I've been called the outsider. So it's been a very curious part of my life.
Were you aware back then while you were growing up in DU that you want to get into films, into cinema, or were you into theater? Because at that time, Delhi did have a theater scene. It's not that active now. But was that your pursuit, or did you kind of stumble upon it later in life?
I've wanted to be in film since I was 12 or 13 years old. And I've always been somebody who wasn't too hesitant to speak, sometimes with or without thinking, from a very young age. And I wanted to be in films, and I declared this ambition to my family at a very young age. And I've always been grateful to my dad for making sure that I went through the rigmarole of a proper education and got my postgraduate degree, and then decided to jump into films because I'm the first person in the history of my family to be in cinema or entertainment of any kind.
You also write, I understand. Does that ever get in the way of being a good actor, in the sense that, since they say it is a director's medium, and you just got to kind of offer yourself to the director? And you are very articulate. You have, aired your views, very articulately and firmly on many issues.
I'm such a soft-spoken person who hardly ever has an opinion. I don't know who you're talking about. You have the wrong
Yes,
person.
clearly.
I must say I'm quite shocked.
It is your other brother, I guess, the twin. What Lakshman Prasad.
I think he's the guy with the mole. I think
I'm mixing it up. But does it ever get in the way of, taking on a role, or even if it's not, it may not be a political view, but just your views, because you do have an awareness which is not very common. Does it get in the way of you wanting to kind of say, no, okay, this is how the line should be, this is how the plot should be, this is how the character should be? Do you ever have to fight that instinct of being a writer while you're acting?
अगर आप chronology समझें, the first thing I did was...
So Siddharth, you act in Telugu cinema, Tamil cinema, Hindi cinema. Commercially, how does that work? Is there ever a temptation of, okay, now let me just do this cinema in this language? Or, you just take the material, and really, how comfortable are you with all these languages? Which language are you completely...
I think I've been doing this for a while. So the first time I straddled languages in films in three languages was over 15 years ago. And within 18 months, I did a Tamil film, a Telugu film, and a Hindi film. And I moved from set to set and met different teams. And back then, I used to think that it was as simple as stringing a sentence in multiple languages. So, నేను మీతో తెలుగు వాడుగా మాట్లాడితే నా और तमिल ना उनके सोल्ला वाला कदे ना वंदा I can easily explain it to you क्योंकि मुझे explain करना आता है. So it's as easy as shifting from language to language. So that's how it would be going from industry to industry because the processes were all the same. The madness was all the same.
मुफ्त खोरो, मुफ्त में इतना ही मिलेगा. To watch the full unedited interview, you have to subscribe to News Laundry and pay to keep news free. Because when the public pays, the public is served. We depend on you and not on advertisers. So go to www.newslaundry.com/subscription and subscribe and get all our unedited interviews, our special video shows, comics, and everything that's behind the paywall. Remember, to subscribe to News Laundry, you pay just about 10 rupees a day. That's less than, a cigarette. And smoking is injurious to health. So subscribe and watch the full interview.
Do you think a movie like Rang De Basanti can release today because it has a communist hero?
Have you lost friends on account of your political opinions?
So how much of your social or political views have been influenced by the role that you played in that movie?
Is there any talk of taking accountability of what they show?
Where do you see yourself in the fan ecosystem?
How difficult it is to separate the art from the artist?
Curious about, were there any like improv?
How have you seen the word pan-India or the emotion of pan-India change over your career? So,
No, now I just think Pan Indian is a restaurant that serves food from all over India. I refuse to use it in respect to cinema, please. It's too painful, yeah. We do live in dangerous times, but I don't think we live in times dangerous enough that films can't be made. I just want to congratulate all of us that we're enjoying the internet right now. Let's enjoy it while it lasts, because you never know when it's going to be too dangerous for people like us to be on the internet talking about what to do with our country. Maybe in the future, what do you think, Abhinandan? Maybe they'll do odd day internet, even day no internet. I mean, you never know.
So what's your idea for fighting fake news?
So fake news is unavoidable, and it's also, you have to understand, it doesn't become fake till the person who consumes it believes a fake piece of news to be true. So the reader or the person who's consuming it is as culpable as the person who's the confidence trickster. Firstly, I think I've learned this all my life. I've been trying to learn this. The greatest superpower one can have is being content.
I'm speechless now.
Like, I'm again
pleasure.
like falling short of words.
I'm really honored to ask you, like, thank you. Like, I'm like sort of words right now.